It's time. The Hasanstani. The Hasanstani legacy is over. Look. Observe. If we scroll down a little bit. Talking about booty judge. Talking about facts and logic. Talking about forming coherent arguments. Talking about the difference between lefties and liberals. Complaining about lefties. What is that you say? A totally normal day for Destiny on Twitter? No. For this time, the target of his ramblings is Hasan Piker. A desperate plea has been sent out to Trainwrecks TV of Twitch. Hello, Train. I know you're reading this because you always read our Destiny threads about you and ape out about them for hours. But this time it's different, Train. Train, the community needs you. It's looking really bad right now. Destiny and Hasan legit hate each other. They both just went on 5-hour-plus rants, their stream just absolutely shitting on each other. They unironically need your wisdom, Train. I never thought I'd say this. They need to just be in a quiet room, alone, no egos and cry, etc., etc. They need to hug it out and suck each other's dicks, etc., etc. Train, this is the worst arc in the Destiny anime. Train, I know you're the only one who can save them. Train, this concerns you too. What will happen to Squad W? What will happen to the Ape Gang? To the movement? You are the only one, Train. A desperate plea in desperate times. What could have led to this? Let's find out. For those of you who don't know, Stephen Destiny Beneblo, also known as Stephen parentheses modal 7th parentheses don't call me Beneblo end parentheses Beneblo end parentheses Tiny the second is my dad. And by that I mean that I watched his and continue to watch his stream for the past decade. And I'm a big fan of his, and a lot of my rhetorical style comes from him. He has a growth disorder. This is what he looks like. But his physical disability has facilitated lots of extra cranial space for a very big brain. Destiny is so big brain. Here he is, an attempted assassination coup by his son. Destiny is so big brain that he has ascended beyond. Here he is standing next to 5'4" Day 9. That he is
Shut up!
that he has ascended beyond contemporary politics and now refers to himself as an omniliberal. He encompasses all liberalism, truly the dreams of the Enlightenment carried forward in his noggin. Is Day 9 actually 5'4"? No. Oh God. Anyway, we'll use this. This is his official picture. Okay. So anyway, Des Tiny over here has been a Twitch streamer for as long as Twitch has been a thing. He plays video games. He was originally like a StarCraft 2 professional gamer boy, and he got into he's always been into politics. He's always been argumentative. He was a like a right-leaning, like right libertarian for a while, and I followed him like his entire career. And I've always been, well, not always, but I've been pretty left-leaning for the past 6 years. A while back, like 5 or 6 years ago, I bullied my way onto his Skype call and argued with him for a bit. And occasionally I would come on stream and I became kind of like an ascended viewer, you know, who was more well-known in chat, who would sometimes talk with him. And I became known as like the lefty. Initially, I was hated in his community, but around 2016, Destiny got more progressive, had his famous discussion with JonTron, where he outed JonTron as a white nationalist. And since then, he's gotten more into the political space, to the extent that he's actually very well known in the online reactionary communities and feared for his big brain. And shit like that. I like Destiny. Destiny is a hard-headed jackass with a bunch of really bad takes. And he's He's a dick, but he's also very intelligent, and he's a fairly rational person, and he makes his decision making process is really, really good, and I'd recommend all of you go look at his content. I respect him tremendously, in spite of all the jokes that I make about him, which are many. No, is that not? Gonna make a joke that he's transcended a race. No, where's the full image? There we go. All right. So anyway, I respect him tremendously, and I strongly encourage all of you to check his content out. I am no longer capable of engaging with his content or talking to him directly, partly because I have been exiled from his community following the drama with Poppy. He said he'd allow you back in. Yeah, he said allow me back in. It was just super patronizing, whatever. And also because I am permabanned from Twitch. So, you know, that's all a problem. Here we go. He's been force feminized as a reactionary. Whatever the case is, he is not a leftist. He is a liberal progressive. Jeez, fuck, this is hard to look at. He's a liberal progressive. Now Destiny has been doing his thing for a while, and that's all well and good. And he's actually like sort of positive. He's like represented the lefty space on Twitch. Now recently, a new person has entered the ring, okay? About a year ago, a Cenk's nephew, aka Cenk's nephew's friend's friend, Hasan Piker, seen here as an unbelievably attractive Instagram model, and an absolutely yoked 5'4" Chad. Hasan Piker, also known as Poo Poo Piker, also known as Hasan Brownout Piker, who shits himself on stream with a regular, is a Why is he called Poo Poo Piker? The actual reason he's called Poo Poo Piker is because he was streaming one time. He was streaming. I'm such a fucking child. He was streaming one time, and his stream suddenly cut short. And when it came back on, he said, "Ah, fuck, we just had a brownout." And some people in chat didn't know that meant like a blackout, but short. So they thought he shit his pants. We have to stop. Stop! Don't remind me, I'll die. It's such a good yeah. Hasan is also known as mauled, which is when you're mad about going bald. Anyway. Oh, man. Oh, God. Anyway, Hasan is like fucking yoked. He's like super fucking big and handsome, and everyone loves him. Look at this fucking guy. Jesus Christ, he's 6'4". He rocked a stash for a while. Who knows? Anyway, Here he is falling. Anyway, he's been in the Young Turks network for a while now. Is he a model? Yeah, he's an Insta model, and he's a political commentator with the Young Turks. Anyway, he's been doing the Young Turks shit for a while, and here's him holding a dog. Jesus Christ, Hasan. Here's him holding a dog by what seems to be the asshole. There we go. And about a year ago, Hasan ended up, I think it was, he ended up talking with Destiny on Twitch. Hasan wanted to move onto Twitch, like to stream on Twitch, because he's like a gamer boy. And Destiny ended up taking notice of Hasan due to Hasan's like performance at Politicon when he debated Charlie Kirk. So Hasan and Destiny talked before and after that, and they ended up forming a friendship as the two most prominent progressive left-leaning people on Twitch. And Hasan's viewership went from like nothing, like 200 viewers a stream, to like 5K over the course of 6 months. Like, he fucking zoomed up. And a lot of it was due to the exposure that was brought about by Destiny. A lot of people in Destiny's community like the fact that they can now find a political-leaning Twitch streamer who did exclusively political content, or almost exclusively, but who was actually a leftist. Destiny, not a leftist, but still known for debunking right-wing arguments really well. Have you talked to him besides that one REM debate? Didn't know if y'all have interacted elsewhere. Yeah, I talked to Hasan. Hasan was the one who led to me starting my YouTube channel. So, anyway, Hasan and Destiny, two kingpins of left-leaning Twitch. Okay? But then, trouble struck. You see, Destiny and Hasan are very different in the way they approach politics. Hasan is an ideologue, and Destiny is not. Hasan is a rhetorician, and Destiny is not. That means that, and I'm speaking for, I'm presenting this as charitably as I can. Destiny is only interested in finding the truth of the matter. Now, there's no such thing, of course, as objective truth. We all know our post-structuralist theory. But he's more interested in debunking factually incorrect statements, or people who engage in poor rhetoric, bad faith arguments, that sort of thing. Most of the people who do that are right-leaning, obviously. So that's Destiny's like stick in the game. Destiny will also turn on left-leaning people if he believes they're engaging in bad arguments. Now, there are many ways in which Destiny is himself irrational and acts in bad faith, but by and large, I would say that Destiny is probably one of the most good faith actors out there, period. I'll stand for him in that respect. Hasan, on the other hand, while generally a very good faith actor, is a ideologue, as in he is interested in promoting a political idea. I'm an ideologue to an extent. He is interested in promoting a political ideology, and sometimes that means he is going to be more charitable to his side of the argument, or interpret things more favorably towards his side than he would for others, which is a form of bad faith acting. Most people do this to some extent or another. I do this to some extent or another. I try not to, though. Anyone who's watched my streams for any period of time will notice that I get angriest when criticizing left-leaning people who have bad arguments. That's the thing that makes me the angriest, like, by far. So I do that as well. Now, over the past, I would say like 5 or so months, Destiny over here, pictured here. Destiny over here has been, for reasons known only to him, trying to purge the more lefty elements from his community. Destiny is not a leftist, and he doesn't like the fact there are a bunch of commies and anarchists and socialists in his community because he finds them annoying, because he thinks they engage in the same hyperbolic, like, fantasization of future social systems that right-leaning people do. Now, I would argue that characterization is very disingenuous to begin with, but whatever. We're not here to talk about Destiny. He's been trying to purge lefty elements from his community. Some think that my ex-decision from the community has something to do with that. Yeah. And by some people, I mean me. I think that. I think that he acted uncharitably towards me because he was sick of having leftists in his community. And I was a well-known leftist in his community. Unfortunately, Hasan is a leftist. So, now we get on to the actual fucking drama. Should probably have this prepared beforehand. I don't really care. So, this right here is a video. Destiny is on vacation, chain fucking barely legal girls all across Europe or whatever. And, Destiny, apparently, here's like the lore, okay? Destiny watched out of curiosity a video from Hasan on Kamala Harris, which was uncharitable towards Kamala Harris. Hasan said something like, Kamala passed legislation which made it so that schools would be forced to turn undocumented immigrants over to ICE. And Destiny said, this is very uncharitable and not actually true. The truth is, Kamala Harris actually passed legislation which forced police officers to turn over undocumented children to ICE if they were charged with a crime. So, now, there's like degrees of severity here. You could argue that, well, by Kamala Harris passing that legislation, that means that when school resource officers are called on unruly children, which is done disproportionately to children of color, that means that this will, in effect, lead to the schools causing undocumented children to be deported. And then, of course, Kamala Harris, after the fact, said that she didn't know what the outcomes of that policy would be, which is bullshit. She absolutely knew. Whatever the case is, Destiny took issue with Hasan's thing in the video, okay? Destiny thought Hasan was being uncharitable, and this, along with a bunch of other lingering antagonisms that seem to sort of hold between Destiny and Hasan. Destiny's had a lot of problems with Hasan's behavior because Destiny feels that Hasan is like ideologically driven, who makes bad faith arguments if it supports his side, and Hasan feels that Destiny is a nitpicker who occasionally acts in bad faith towards lefties because he gets triggered by them. It's impossible for me to detail all of like the drama sort of that led up to this point because a lot of it had to do with like unspoken resentment. Whatever the case is, Destiny criticized the Kamala Harris video pretty hard, and then Hasan came in to argue with Destiny. And this is a 3-hour and 20-minute video which includes their argument. We're not going over that. Because fuck that. All I can tell you, like, factually, is that the community is really not happy that the two of these people are fighting. Like, at all. Hasan and Destiny are Hasan and Destiny are the two like most prominent left-leaning people on Twitch, and their quote-unquote coalition has gone a long way towards normalizing and popularizing lefty perspectives on Twitch. However, after the argument they had, this is a post from Hasan in his own Discord. The person who took the screen cap had Discord light mode on, which means they must have been a fascist. Yo, we're legit done. No more memeing of us making up or fucking. Destiny and Hasan argue a lot. This seems pretty nasty, though. It seems like they're actually, like, for real breaking up or whatever. And this is really frustrating to me. Because as somebody who promotes coalition building and anti-sectarianism, as somebody who really doesn't like it when unnecessary ideological divisions are made between people who have common interests, this really fucking frustrates me. I just want to talk about this for a second, okay? Can we just talk about this? Listen, fuck the screen. All right, can we just talk about this? Hasan is not a good debater, and he does sometimes argue in bad faith. That's not great. I like really rigorous, driven sort of internal thought processes, because I think that leftism can be justified 100% logically. You don't need any bullshit like appeals to like emotion or anything. It's not necessary. You can do it if it's rhetorically advantageous, but acting uncharitably, acting in bad faith, acting disingenuously, I don't think these things assist us. Sometimes Hasan does that. However, I'm going to be honest with you, literally everyone does that. Literally every single person, including me, and I try very hard not to, engages in some level of favoritism, of uncharitability, of bias, of something that means that they're not perfectly rational when they make decisions or make arguments. Literally every human being does this. Destiny doesn't do it as much as other people. When he does it most is when he's arguing on something he has a deep emotional investment in, like a lot of other people. If any of you are interested in reading on some drama, you can read up on Spoilerstiny, sorry. You can read up on Swedenstiny. You can read up on chain fucking 20-year-old Swedish hippies. You can read up on well, not yet, but the fucking or how he treats leftists is a really good example. He's very like habitually uncharitable towards left-leaning people, or like full leftists, you know, like commies and shit. Humans cannot make decisions without. Yeah, well, yes, I'm not saying that emotion is useless and you should never have emotion. I have plenty of emotion. I'm saying that when you're making arguments, all of them should be logically derivative. Whatever the case is. Yeah, and Destiny really recently, I made a video on this. Destiny did a really fucking stupid rant on how he's anti-democratic workplace because workers are dumb or whatever. It's fucking stupid. Whatever the case is, Hasan, I think, engages in a level of like uncharitability and bad faith argumentation, which is about on par with what I would expect from like a good content creator. He's not like a fascist or a race realist or whatever who constantly cherry pick data and lie and misrepresent to make their points. He just sometimes he'll make like a hyperbolic statement. Focus. He'll make like a hyperbolic statement, or he'll like be sort of uncharitable towards one side. He does this. I don't like it, but he does this. Okay? It's just a thing that happens. And Destiny, as of late, seems to have been growing increasingly, I guess, bothered by this. And this culminated in a discussion that they had on the aforementioned Kamala Harris thing, where they were talking about that video. And it seems to me like the solution to this is pretty simple. So Hasan's contention in the video was that Kamala Harris supported legislation that forced schools to turn undocumented children over to ICE. Destiny says, no, the legislation that was passed actually meant that police had to turn undocumented children over to ICE. So that would mean then that if police are called on students, which does happen, unfortunately, especially students of color, that if they're undocumented, that they then get referred to ICE. Now, this is just with a charge, not with a trial. So a kid charged with something by the police can then be brought over to ICE, which leads pretty much inexorably towards deportation. That's a problem. Okay? Now, all Hasan would have to say is that, hey, yes, my language was hyperbolic, so on and so forth. However, I think you can see pretty clearly the chain of events that would lead. Now, when schools call resource officers on children, that can lead to undocumented kids getting deported. This is a chain of events. Kamala Harris has made schools an unavoidable component in the oppression of undocumented immigrants. She has weaponized them in a war against the undocumented people in this country. And then and Hasan did say that to an extent, but Destiny seemed really fucking hung up on that and other comments that Hasan has made that he believes are indicative of like of emotional argumentation or like bad faith engagement. And they just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and they both have problems. Hasan rambles way too fucking long and takes forever to come to a point, and Destiny sometimes get hyper focused on nitpicky issues and can't look past it for like broader like semantic points that are being made. He'll get like focused in on, he gets really triggered when people say this, oh, you just focus on the semantics, but he does. People do that to an extent. He doesn't. He did it in that discussion. And anyway, now after that, Destiny made some really dumb fuck comments about how Hasan saying booty judge is like homophobic or something. I don't even fucking know. I haven't watched the 7 hours of video that lead into this. Whatever the case is, it looks like they're done. Which really fucking sucks. Because these two, in spite of the disagreements I have with them, I guess I don't... Hasan and I have very similar politics. I guess I'm not that different from him, like at least in... Let's look at this, because it's really uncomfortable, okay? It's really frustrating because these people, in spite of having differing values, they had a very strong sort of rhetorical union on Twitch, and this just seems like some really dumbass sectarianism. All Hasan would have to do is say, hey, you're right, I was hyperbolic in that comment. Sometimes I engage in hyperbole in my videos. It's something that I do to play into like the same level of political discourse that other actors engage in. I don't think what I do is any worse than the vast majority of political commentators. I don't really know why you're so fixated on it when I do it, but I'll work to improve it. And then Destiny could say, you're right, I'm sorry, I am hyper-fixating on this. Literally everyone engages in comparable levels of dishonest argumentation. There are probably better people I could spend my time criticizing. There are always going to be problems we have with people close to us. This ain't it, chief. But instead of doing either of those things, instead of resolving their problems amicably, or talking in private, or disincentivizing their community from talking shit about one another, now it seems like they're done. And I don't really know what to say about this. Where do I go? Where do I go from here? This sucks. I mean, like just from a political efficacy stance, you know, it just is deeply unfortunate that two people who represented the like body of progressive content on Twitch is seem to be splitting. I really desperately wish that I could get involved from this somehow, but I'm banned from Twitch, and the Poppy drama has ostracized me from both Destiny and Hasan's communities. So there's nothing that I can do there. I guess I just have to sit back and like watch this all fall apart. I sound so self-important. Oh, woe is me. If only I were there to single-handedly prevent. I don't know. Maybe I could do something if I was there, right? Like I talk like, hey guys, coalition build. I don't fucking know, dude.
No, I think they're both too fucking head in their ass.
Well, it's just frustrating. Yes, Hasan has said a lot of really uncharitable things towards Destiny as well. Hasan perpetuates the idea that Destiny argues in bad faith, like uses rhetorical tricks against the alt-right, but he shouldn't do that against lefties, which I think is really dumb. And Hasan and Destiny says that Hasan is just like a LARPing Bernie bro who argues from a position of privilege. It's like, it's so stupid. All right. Chat, do we have any thoughts on this? Chat, weigh in. Come on, chat. Weigh in on this. Where are you at?
Can I have the charms?
Yeah, you can reach in and get them.
Oh, I thought you had them next.
No, they're somewhere, probably under the shirts. Oh, there. Did you see Poppy post about Contra? Yep, pretty fucking crazy. Can we talk about how the real villain here is Rem? I'm down to assemble an anti-Rem gang. Listen, bully Rem all you fucking want. Bully the fuck out of Ram. I feel like Hasan is far worse at conceding to legitimate counter-arguments than Destiny. Yeah, I agree with that. I think Hasan is not a particularly good debater, just frankly, and I don't think he operates in the same like level of rationality that Destiny does, or that I try to. I don't mean that like an insult, like he's less intelligent. I mean that the fastidious pursuit of like hyper-logical argumentation is a really specific... who's Poppy? Poppy is a person I sexually harassed over Discord like 2 years ago, and it's still somehow the source of drama. What did Poppy do? After Contra followed me on Twitter, Poppy messaged Contra, or like tweeted at Contra, and was like, "Of course you would support sexual harassers. You're basically looking over rape. You rot in hell, you stupid piece of shit." And they got blocked by Contra. If Poppy wasn't so fucking crazy, they would probably do a better job besmirching my reputation. Yeah, Contra finally followed me. Aye. Destiny isn't interested in coalition building anyway. Yeah, he's not. Destiny is not interested in coalition building. I think Destiny is so wrapped up in ideological feelings about Hasan's views being clouded by the drama. I think Hasan is more feeling-driven, makes it legitimate. Yeah, one of Hasan's problems is that Hasan gets legitimately, like, really fucking offended. Hasan gets really upset when he's insulted or criticized by people he trusts, or, like, wants to have the respect of, one of whom is Destiny. Like, he actually gets, like, legit in the fucking chest hurt. And I guess that's kind of sweet in a way, but still. Yeah, true, Pig Punch, you did. You fucking sexually harass someone? Lil Shortcake, are you not even a true fan? I have a video on it. It's called In Regards to Recent Drama or something. Yes, I harassed someone over Discord. I talk about it there. It's the lamest fucking drama in the universe. How can you reconcile your rigorous standard of intellectual honesty and not justifying your axioms? Because I don't think you can justify axioms. I'm not a fucking Kantian. I don't believe that you can justify unjustifiable presuppositions. I think axioms just are as they are, unjustified presuppositions, and that you have to justify everything up until that level. Probably, Clertma. Probably. Yeah, Destiny does enjoy alienating the left. That's definitely true. He's still useful, though. He's a part of the pipeline. I called out that girl about that. She got really pissed at me. True neutral. Do you mean Poppy? Yeah, Poppy is, Poppy is sassy, okay? I wouldn't try talking to her. If it was possible to create a debate with the two, I can see you at least someone dying down the power, but I don't know if Destiny really sucks at making up with people. Maybe. Clip of Hasan officially breaking up with Destiny? Oh, no.
I'm not gonna be fucking friends with Destiny after this.
Excuse me.
Like, I'm not.
I'm sorry.
I can't.
I apologize for that.
I respect myself a little bit more than that.
Pepe
dude.
hands.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Pepe hands.
This dude takes gigantic shits all over my career, everything I fucking stand for, belittles me, calls me a fucking LARPer accelerationist Bernie bro, engages in like these disingenuous ways of trying to fucking frame this argument in a way that makes himself look good because he can never fucking back down from anything, that he obviously does not care about the friendship that we fucking cultivated. And you guys want me to say thank you for giving me some water as he spits on my fucking face? Get the fuck out of here.
You hate to see it happen. He's right, though. Destiny constantly disrespects us. Darius Cypher, shut the fuck up. Yo.
It's just like 7 minutes to 6.
Yeah, I know. Almost.
It's so hot.
There's a difference between wanting to break the right and build the left. Destiny wants to do the former, Hasan the latter. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I want to do both. They're compatible. It's so dumb. Now Vosh needs to swoop in and become Hasan's friend. That's not going to happen. Hasan doesn't want to associate with me. Who's Poppy? Poppy is like a nobody on the internet. I don't like, but when I say nobody on the internet, I mean they don't have a following. Like a lot of you are nobody. You're not nobodies in that you're less valuable as a person than me. You're nobodies in the sense that you don't have public outrage. But that's an important distinction when you're like a public figure. Poppy is a person without a public persona, who I was friends with like 2.5 years ago, and then I harassed them in a convo, and it was bad. And it was not as bad as people make it out to be. I'll stand by that any day of the week, but it was still bad, and now it's drama again. It's stupid. I have a video on it. Go watch the video.
Let me ask you a better question. Mm-hmm. Where are y'all right now? Are y'all squad now, or is this like a, you know?
Oh, I'm pretty sure we're terminated now. Yes.
We're what?
I'm pretty sure we're completely done now.
As in, it's resolved, or like, or
yeah, it's resolved, and like we're not talking to each other anymore. I think, yeah. Yeah.
This is nuclear now. Oh,
yeah,
there's
so
a
like the
rift.
thing was is that by the end of the conversation, basically what had happened was, and this is the way that I'm going to frame it. You can accuse me of being biased. So for the record, somebody went through and they did tally up the time. Apparently Hasan spoke for like 86 minutes and I spoke for 53 minutes or some shit. And I'm pretty sure he interrupted me like 7 times when I interrupted him. You can go through, there's like a Reddit post, somebody tallied it up. But basically by the end of it, Hasan started to do this thing that I've been accusing lefty people of doing recently, where he started to throw out to me every debate thing I've ever heard from like all of the people on like the conservative shit. So he was saying like, oh, well, Destiny, you're a disingenuous debater. You're just using extreme hypotheticals. You're trying to trick me or trap me or play gotchas. You're like the Ben Shapiro of the left. It was like everything I'd ever heard from like all the conservatives and like alt-righters I debate. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, and so it's like...
I'm gonna have to... God damn it, dude! Like, this it's so important that I guess I have to watch
that my whole argument was like semantics or whatever. Yeah, I mean, you can watch it. The important thing to take away from my video, though, and especially because we almost started to do it here, is like I'm not defending Kamala Harris in any of my takes.
Okay, and Destiny is also right. Hasan did levy a bunch of bad faith arguments against Destiny, like accusing Destiny of using tricky debate tactics or using extreme hypotheticals, which is what a lot of the alt-right people. I mean, I hear this a lot too. Like when I talk with like lefty people who disagree with me, a lot of them will accuse me of being like the same shit that I hear from the right. You know, they'll accuse me of being like a pathetic degen LARPer or whatever. Very often, like the arguments sort of circle around. Scream. I don't know. To be fair, his hypotheticals were absolutely not comparable to the issues, and he used them stupidly. I need to go over it again. I don't fucking know. Both of them have problems. I just don't like sectarianism. I don't like breaking backs over this shit. It's very frustrating to me. There's so much material good to be brought about from them collaborating with one another. Hasan has a bunch of like historical knowledge, institutional knowledge, and connections, and Destiny has a really, really, really fucking good mindset for debate. Why not send Left Army to raid Hasan's stream to get involved? I can't stream on Twitch. If I go on Hasan's stream, I'll get fucking Hasan banned. I can't do it. Yeah, I've seen the copyright changes with Team YouTube. It's pretty good. How is this sectarian, Vosh? Destiny is not a leftist. I don't buy this argument that sectarianism can only exist amidst people who are anti-capitalist. Destiny and Hasan are both progressive. They're both progressive. They can form sectarian splits in that respect, too. Yes, I have seen that College Humor skit. Alright, we need to wrap this shit up. I've been streaming for like 4 hours. I might stream Sekiro later today. Whatever the case is, and I'm sure like word of this will eventually reach them. There's 1,350 people watching right now. I'm banned from Twitch right now, so there's nothing I can do to go ahead and speak on their streams. But like, I wish I could talk to both of them. There's no reason for either of them to do that, like at all. There's no like material interest in either of their parts to speak with me. Not to mention I can't appear in their streams, but I wish there was something that I could do. Because there are very, very valuable components to both of them that should be preserved and unified together in a delicious Nutella peanut butter hazelnut mixture. Or chocolate hazelnut. Yeah, Ali Akais, you're correct. Liberal side of fascism. Alright. Dumbass shit. Why doesn't Hasan like Vosh? There was some drama about a podcast thing, and then the Poppy drama happened. I'm constantly being fucking surrounded by drama all the time. That's my perpetual state. Alright, let me read out the last of the donations, and then I'm peacing the fuck out. Would I talk to either of them if they approached you? Yeah, totally I would, but they would never approach me over this. There's literally no reason for them to. Posada Sean with the $1. Hyena seemed mad from that take. What is her opinion on full package Fuda? Hyena?
I mean, I think it tends to be drawn